Welcome back. Last time we started mining, we found this nice cave. We actually got some diamonds, a good chunk of them. Got some obsidian. We don't need that. We don't need this junk. We're going to continue exploring this cave. Looking just for some more easy diamonds. We're not taking risks, like you might think those are easy. Yeah, I'm going to build up above this lava pool and just mine those. That is reckless. We're not going to take that risk. For what reason would we take that risk? The ones in the ceiling can stay in the ceiling. We'll take care of the stuff that's at our feet. Building up invites a mob like a skeleton to see us and shoot us down. Uh, Overall, we've been having a pretty good time this play session. Not much has happened, but we've gotten some more apples. We've gotten a ton more gold ball down here, actually. I didn't even realize how well we were doing with that. Zombie villager. He's not even worth the sword durability. Keep track of where all your enemies are. Outmaneuver them. Zombies are very slow. They walk in straight lines. Creepers can do some spins. Skeletons will actually try to avoid you and just shoot at you. Enchanted bow. Baby zombies are faster. Thankfully, they have an audio cue that is slightly changed in pitch. Zombies have the highest aggro range. I discussed this last time. I've discussed this many a times. The skeleton spotted me. Thankfully, he doesn't have a shot. But the overworld mobs don't pack that much of a punch. By that I mean some of them can. A zombie with a sword, we've witnessed the damage they can do. A skeleton with an enchanted bow, a single flame arrow could cause me to take tons of damage. Well, I have a water bucket, but theoretically. Creepers, known to instantly kill players. But despite all this, the dangers of these mobs are they're all very predictable mobs. No mob that we encounter down here in the caves will be so devastating as to ruin us because there's one of them. The only exception to that rule might be the witch or the enderman. But the enderman, rare mob who's actually limited to only fight us if I look at him in the eyes, and if I do, the water bucket can deter him from hitting me for a bit, and I can dig myself a little roof area to defend myself. The witch is far more threatening, but that doesn't mean she's undefeatable. If we can get into a chain, she'll just start drinking only healing potions to save herself, in which then we're perfectly fine. Additionally, if we can stay at a range, we can shoot her, and she'll always first announce herself with her iconic laugh, and with the fact that she will generally always throw a slowness and weakness potion first. The slowness potion will set you up for other potions and make it harder for you to rush her down. But it's far better than being struck with that poison potion. So, you take what you can get. Going to these small nooks we learned from the Bastion is a bad idea. One enemy spawned around that corner can give you a whack. And a single whack can put us on death's door. And if we get cornered, a mob can do devastating damage to us by just landing blow after blow. Thankfully, this is why we use audio cues. You don't want to move too fast, or else you'll move faster than the enemy's audio cues. Creepers are dangerous because they don't produce much of a sound. These caves are winding, and there's area for mobs to spawn above us and jump down, so we're going to leave this area. A quick glance. Easy diamonds, easy gold. Theoretically, I should also be grabbing easy iron, but iron isn't so pressing a resource, and we can get that without having to come down to these deep, deep sections, as we demonstrated when we got a lot of iron on the surface. So, overall, very good resource run. Toss this, grab... Oh, is that just a perfect stack? I'm going to leave it... Oh, no, it isn't. There's a stack being made over here. Alright, we'll mine some more then. Having excess resources enables us to not need to mine for it later. Lapis is affected by fortune. It would be good to just use a fortune pick in the future and mine like a stack while on a mining trip. But it's not a pressing resource. Redstone, we don't plan on making any redstone contraptions at the moment. Let's not waste any inventory on it. Basic things like that. We want gold, we want diamonds, we want lapis. But we have those resources. We can leave. I am content to leave. But I'm getting greedy. I'm dwarven like that, where I enjoy having my pickaxe and plundering the earth for all of its precious resources and making them my own. But to die getting all this resource would make them all useless. There's also that abandoned mine shaft. I'm not sure if it's worth actually exploring. We don't have much inventory, and we'd be just looking for treasures. That creeper has noticed us. I'm gonna go. There has to be another way. We'll go back around this way. Moving with a higher speed is an important thing to do. And the reason for that is, in this scenario where you turn a corner and there are mobs that have spawned, you don't want them to get the jump on you. Zombies over there, zombies to my left, okay. Directional audio helps a lot. Zombies aren't afraid to take damage to get to you. Some mobs are. Actually, most of the overworld mobs will take damage to try to get to you. Quick scan. Moving around a lot, putting blocks between you and them. Makes it more difficult than them. There is a diamond. Am I still being tracked? No. Well, this guy is, but... This is why I like the sword. I miss my swings a lot. I'm not wasting arrows on those guys because I don't have a lot. That was a strange noise. Cave noises. Great ambiance, though. Gotta give him that. No, we'll just outrun you. Outrun this entire mess. Run deeper into this mess of cave. This is where we came from. I remember it. Thank you, zombie. Helps a lot. Several endermen. I want to keep my head down. Will not mind that one diamond. Not worth looking these guys in the eyes. Spiders lunge. It's important to understand what a mob does. Since spiders lunge, you would actually need to put up your shield when they get close to you, because that lunge might result in them smacking you. And why get smacked when you have a perfectly good shield ready to take the hit for you? Exploring into this area over here. Again, not as open as that original area, but I mean, there is diamond over there, but he has an enchanted bow. 27 arrows. Crouching decreases your detection range to mobs. That is a real thing. So we get that diamond. No problemo. Talking like it's a walkthrough. And to get that diamond, we'll just crouch. You can evade the skeleton with the enchanted bow, and that diamond is ours. As if you can repeat those steps on your own. Always keep an eye out behind you. General tips are usable. Keeping an eye out behind you, picking up some diamonds. We're up to 22. Pretty decent haul, all things considered. We're on the back side. My bridge should be somewhere over there. We might be able to follow this around, though. I'm not sure how far it goes. Actually, am I? Oh, jeez. Might actually be a different cave. The reason that's important, if I'm in a different cave underneath, then my path back up doesn't necessarily lead to the surface. But hey, just keep distracting me with diamonds and I'll keep going deeper and deeper. I think that part is my cave. But just to be safe, I'm not going to take that risk of trying to explore the new area then getting lost. That spider has the speed potion effect. Run in a straight line. Sprint jumping is the fastest form of movement, consumes the most hunger. But if it's your life on the line, for sacrificing, that was the mark I made. Getting over that lava. Spider jockey! A very intimidating foe because the spider is faster than you. Ah, shit. Where's my bridge? There's a spider jockey behind me. Knowing a general timing for when they'll shoot, and there's a little sound effect. There's my bridge over there. Okay. Evasive maneuvers. Take wide swings. Watch your step. And make sure nothing is trying to shoot you when you get to your bridge. We've discussed that you can use these little holes to jump in to defend yourself, but the best type of defense is not needing one at all. Alright, big danger we'll have to be aware of coming up here. There could be things at the top. If I could swim up. Not close. We had quite the haul. Hold up your shield when you get to the top of things like that. If that creeper was a skeleton instead, he would have shot me. If the creeper was closer, he would have been a threat. Thankfully, you outswim mobs. Most of them. So, not really a threat. I'm going to take a quick scan over here. It's not as deep, so I think the chance of diamonds are just lower, but I want to take a quick peek around anyways while I'm here. That's another deep chasm. I probably saw down there. I've probably been down there. This is a dangerous line to run. Spider could have lunged at me if it was a bit faster. Both spiders don't have too high detection range, and they get caught on blocks very easily because they climb up walls instead of jumping up blocks like you do, which can make walls ineffective against them, but their strange size is their weakness, and they get... I'm sure you've seen it a ton where they get caught in corners. So, they're not too threatening. The creepers won't be able to chase me up. Creepers don't run. They're just... Wow, I launched right out of that water spout and took fall damage. Take a moment here. Shoot a fish. Delish. Thought I heard crackling of bone. Creeper right there. He's not going to be able to do anything. Skeletons are farther away. It's nighttime. Which means zombies actually have a chance to spawn more zombies with an aggro radius when you deal damage to them. So killing them quickly instead of punching them to death is a good thing. Alright. Swim to the surface. Oh, I think he has chainmail armor on. That's funny. The way that works with the water. Anyways, very successful mining expedition. Now, who remembers the way back home? I think I saw it. I came around this way and I did a loop like that, so I think I'll just follow this way back. Because I also saw that lava pocket over there, and it was coming from this direction, I believe. If I'm wrong, oh well. But, I mean, hey, successful haul. Over a stack of gold, over almost 2 stacks of lapis, and 24 diamonds. Went from nothing to something pretty quick. My friend actually, when suggesting this, told me to just set some challenges, and one of the challenges he recommended was getting diamonds. I guess we were challenged to some point to actually get those, but I mean, the whole reason was that I was playing it very safe with caving, because caving is dangerous. Also, I might not remember where my base is. Oh well. A little bit of adventure. Never hurt anybody. Well, that's definitely a lie. A little bit of adventure probably hurt a lot of people. Wait a second. I'm going back for those cows. Just realized something. I have a looting sword on me. I need that leather. For books. I'm sorry, cows, but I've realized that your flesh could feed me, because steak is higher saturation than bread, and your leather shall keep me educated, and we will need level 30 enchants to reach certain points in this game. That is a very real problem that we will have to deal with. 4 extra iron on top of it. No, I'll just separate it like that. I carry a lot of my valuables on me just because, well, I had only just settled down and I kind of needed them. It's not like if I die, I lose the resources. I kind of just, well, I mean, if I die, I lose the resources regardless of where they're being kept. So that's why I have all my iron on me. Iron, again, not that rare. And we've just decreased its value by obtaining the next best resource. We could go back for it, but I mean, 4 iron ingots. It's a single vein of iron, realistically. Make sure to get plenty of leather. There's also chickens there. We'll kill them, not for their meat, but for their feathers. We've been discussing my low arrow count, and they've been a saving grace. Best way to break, just silence and the sounds of death. You might be thinking this is a waste of a looting 2 sword, but I'll ask you, is it a waste if I'm gathering from it? If I gain? Yeah, but you could just kill all these chickens without having to sort of breed them and take it slower. I don't care for taking it slow. These animals will die and they will provide me the maximum potential loot that I can get with the looting 2 sword I have at my disposal. But you're getting overkill. Think about the humanity. You could breed these animals, create a giant farm, kill them off only when they are old and at their death's door and begging for it. I could, but it is the classic saying, just as a human child craves the mines, the wild animal craves the blade, and who am I to deny them the right to die at my hand? No, I mean, looting sword only has value as far as I am using its effect. Yeah, it's more valuable for things like ender pearls, for sure. And for blaze rods, definitely. And for gas tiers, no question. mobs that are hostile and would actually be dangerous to fight. Yeah, for sure. That being said, I have like 100 uses. I have at least 100 uses of this thing left. And chickens only take a single durability each, so. And these feathers will provide me with life. I have no regrets using this sword. I am now going to start using the iron pickaxe again. Stopped using it for some time. Well, I definitely didn't cross this area because I was looking for lava before. More chickens. How many feathers do I have? 28. That's plenty. 16 gives you a stack of arrows. I'll likely only carry a stack on me at a time. I'm definitely not just supposed to be traveling this direction. Oh, but I'm definitely supposed to be traveling this direction because I remember roundabout what my numbers were. Don't jump off the cliff expecting there to be close by water. There we go. And see, there's a forest. That could have been the forest I got the sunken treasure at, potentially. No, I don't think so. Maybe? Yes? No? Yes? No, doesn't look like it. Oh well. Still gonna travel just generally this direction because I traveled somewhat in the alternative. Oh no, this is where I got my sunken treasure for sure. I can prove it. There's the map. Alright, yeah, I know which one my base is from this sunken treasure, so yeah, I went in the right direction. Perfecto. Travel back around here, and travel in that direction. We'll make it back to base. We have the obsidian we need to create a portal. We have diamonds. We didn't really need them at the moment, but like we're gonna need them for tools over time. It's an important thing to have, you know. Plus, this is a survival world. We're gonna try to survive. We'll need all sorts of equipment, and diamonds will find themselves in constant use. After all, if we don't use the best supplies we have at our disposal, we're being wasteful with our lives. Because life is more than just another lava pool. A life is more than just the resources you have. That's a materialistic viewpoint. You are worth so much more than the diamonds you have. And the diamonds you have are worth a lot of your life. But, I mean, after all, we did just risk our life to obtain those diamonds. But those diamonds we will now reinvest in ourselves. I was really hoping this just led back to Renia. Well, let's cross through this way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we were supposed to go wider around, but hey. That is a sound. All these frogs are like gray and they're all just so chubby. Oh, I like that foggy effect from underwater here. Because it's like murky water. I'm using a clear water texture pack, so you know, doesn't. Point is for viewability. But no, I like the small details like that. Attention to detail is a great thing in games. Here's an attention to detail about Baldur's Gate 3. This is very early attention to detail. And it's not a spoiler to any gameplay moments or story moments. It's about a little attention to detail in the environment. Alright? In Baldur's Gate, in Baldur's Gate 3, I should specify, in Baldur's Gate 3, if you have the Collector's Edition, and you go into that cave not the cave, the crypt near the start, there's a room that has a single man, and there is a table uh, covered with food, and that room is decorated. On one of the walls, the wall sort of, you'll see it if you look around well enough. There is a portrait of Fane from Divinity Original Sin 2. Now, if you're if you're the world host and you have the collector's edition, then that portrait's there for everybody. If you have the collector's edition but you're there in somebody else's world, so if whoever creates the world isn't in definitive or in collector's edition, then there is no portrait of Fane. It's only there, that tiny detail that's off to the side is only there for collector's edition. And the portrait has like a very fun little like line attached to it that's something along the lines of you can feel the condescending stare or something of the nature. But attention to detail is what makes a lot of games great. It's what separates a good game from a great game. So a game already has to be good in order to be great, but attention to detail elevates a game so much further. Small things done all over the place. Easter eggs are a great example of a small thing that's done a lot. It's a pretty deep cave. Right underneath. Yeah, I mean, there are caves everywhere. It's right underneath the big thing lifted. It must have come from somewhere after all. But attention to detail, games like Ultra Kill are a great example of it. Because you have to put there's a lot of attention to detail in that game. Because the creators of the game put their heart and souls into making those games great. And they did. They succeeded. And so, when they put all this effort forth to make this great game, they put Easter eggs. They put small things like, a character... You know, Ultra Kill's a bad example because I don't know enough about it. It's a great example of a game that has a lot of attention to detail, but I don't know enough details. Metal Gear Solid 3 with the Hideo Kojima. There's a reason everything that man touches turns to gold. Well, every game he works on is a masterpiece due to his writing and a lot of details. But one detail that is just, a lot of people know this about Metal Gear Solid 3, is about the end. So, in Metal Gear Solid 3, there is a sniper, legendary sniper, very old man, known as the End. And if you know the game, then you know why he's called that. But for those of you who don't, I'll let you guess. But his name is the End, the legendary sniper, and he is very, very old. He's moved around in a wheelchair. Like, he's not a vivacious young man by any means. But there are scenes where you can actually see him in the game where you're not fighting him yet. And you can actually shoot him during these scenes. And you might be thinking, well, what happens if you shoot him during one of these scenes? Well, exactly what you think happens. He dies. You shoot an old man in the head with a sniper rifle while he's just sitting in his wheelchair, he dies. And you can actually get a shot off like this to kill him early. Now, you then have to immediately do some finagling because his wheelchair flies through the air and explodes on you, but, you know, it's a funny interaction. Another thing you can do with that game is, so, Hideo Kojima famously wanted to make a fight that took a week of time, a full week to do the fight. And I don't mean like, like you have to play the game for like an hour a day, 7. No, he wanted that fight to take a week of real time, to which he was told correctly that was a terrible idea. And so he wasn't allowed to do it. Now, there is something with the End, though, about a week. If it takes you over a week to defeat the end. Meaning that you encounter the end in that cutscene where he's being rolled in the wheelchair, and then the clock on your game rolls over a week. So on your system clock, you change it by a week or anything. The end will die of old age. He unironically dies of old age. And who's there instead? They just sent some random soldier with a sniper who's not nearly as difficult. Now, you don't get the unique item drops from him, I'm pretty sure. Like his camo that you can only get from holding him at gunpoint. But there's all these tiny details. The end also has a talking parrot in his arena. But the talking parrot, he, is like the best friends with the end, and he talks to him. If you shoot the parrot, the end will actually change his fighting style from being the patient sniper. Why are they by my house? What's with these guys? The village is all the way over there. Oh my god. But he will start being very aggressive. He'll start hunting you down. Which, I mean, it depends on what kind of gamer you are, but that can completely change the game. He's a motherfucker. I'm gonna shoot him all to death. Could I just let him despawn? They're just floating there. So there are these, it's just he'll change his attack pattern, become more aggressive because you've killed his friend. Other things of that nature, because there's more. The end's old. He will literally fall asleep in the boss fight, and you can. So one of the ways you can find him, because his boss arena is 3 map areas large. It is an absurdly large arena to fight an enemy in. But I mean, you can beat him. It takes some time. The fight is long, especially if you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, you can fight the end for as long as you need to in this giant arena, and he'll fall asleep if nothing happens for long enough. And you can use your mic that detects sound, and you can actually find where he is because he's snoring. And if you use that mic while he's awake, he'll say just like things under his breath like, "This is the end," which is just really neat. Are they approaching me? What are they doing? Other small details. To get his camo, so to get camos for each of the bosses, you actually have to fulfill a certain requirement. The end's camo, he will quite literally, you hold a pistol to the back of his head, but you can't be too close, or else he'll kick you in the shins and get away, and trip you and get away. And you can't be too far, or else it doesn't trigger the event. But you have to stand there with your gun pointed at him, and you'll just be like, "Don't move," and he'll try to move, and then just you keep holding it at him, and then he'll say, "Fine, take this," and he'll just throw his camo on the ground off the cliff where he's standing there. So if you want it, you have to go pick it up because it will despawn if you shoot him, and then he'll retreat and get a new vantage. But that's how you get his cloak. And by the way, his camo has the highest camo reduction for a lot of areas, but has by far the most camo. Is the best camo for that arena, which makes sense. That's his arena where he's been using that camo. Other details from just the end. The end uses a trank gun, so he actually does stamina damage to you, not physical damage. And these are all just details with the end. Now, there's these types of details for every boss in the game. So you fight the Fear. Or no, let's use the Colonel Volgan one. Colonel Volgan is either he really dislikes or he's allergic. I forget which one. But you can actually find a log where he demands that this type of mushroom not be on his food. And if you throw that mushroom at him during the fight against him, he'll literally get stunned by that mushroom. You can only do it like twice in the combat, but still. The fear, his camo consumes your stamina bar. It also consumes his, for once a boss that actually like revolves around the stamina systems. He takes stamina damage and he needs to eat mid-combat. So what he'll do is he has to jump down from his... because his allows you to go invisible. His camo, he's invisible, shooting you, jumping from tree to tree. And he needs to eat. So he'll jump down and he'll grab something. You can set food on his traps. You can hunt out the entire arena so he doesn't have any food. And you can throw poisoned food on the ground. And he'll jump down and go, "Ugh, this is poisoned." And then, you know, you can shoot him. Because he won't gain stamina back. He'll retreat, but he'll be low on stam again. And if you're trying to beat Metal Gear Solid in a more classic style, then you're probably doing it in the style where you try to use the tranquilizing only, killing as few people as possible, even against the bosses. That's the classic style. It's by no means a requirement, and doesn't decrease your achievements if you use the AK-47 and shot down like 20 guys. But it is just like he takes stamina damage, which will just help you if you just stall for a bit, then use poison food to get him to eat that, decrease his stam for you. I mean, this type of stuff was just thought out. And it's really impressive the amount of details that went into this. There's also the fake death pill. And it will only work once against enemies that it works against. Because they're not going to fall for the same trick twice. And they have a unique line for when it works for when you try to do it a second time. There's an entire boss fight in Metal Gear Solid 3 that is harder the more people you've killed. I'm not going to go into details into that. But it's a harder boss fight the more people you've killed. The reason I'm not going into details is because Metal Gear Solid Delta has been announced as a very good-looking remake for the PC for Metal Gear Solid 3. So, I mean, I'm probably going to play that. I'm not sure if I'll play it on camera. Probably not. It's unlikely. But still, I mean... I already ate one steak, that's why there's only 31. It's a lot of little things that make the game great. And another thing, your teacher, the boss, it has a fight in that game. And when you're fighting her, there's quite literally an interaction where you can try to use the fake death pill on her, and then she'll literally just say, "I came up with that trick. Stop playing dead," and then she'll just like assault you for playing dead. We just need one gravel so we can get something. Actually, we wanted to make more arrows, so we need a lot of gravel. Yeah, there's gravel in the nether, famously. Oh, there we go. Now we can make our flint and steel. Now we don't want the nether portal too close, but we don't want it too far. Because I'm worried about like a piglin walking through and then me not wearing gold armor and getting attacked. We'll just worry about security later. I don't want to build it directly here because it's probably where I'll be building the house. I'm not building like the side of a mountain, but this ought to do. Right here, in the middle. Easy. We have feather falling, so it wouldn't have been a problem if I hit the ground, but still. Alright, anyways, let's manage our inventory before we go in there, because assuming that it's good or bad, we don't want to take a risk. 32 gold. We'll be trading with hoglins. Blocks. As we've discussed in the past, wood is the greatest material. That in case anything goes bad. That for more tools. We're not carrying diamond in with us. Who's in our hotbar? That for gas and blazes. Some cobblestone. Nah. That's for chumps. This is our food. I need a shovel right there immediately. Food there. That's a tool. That's a resource. Resource can go over here. Inventory is quite empty, so we can collect resources. We are mainly just looking for a fortress. And that's why next time we'll be walking through the portal. Because it's been like, I don't know, 40 minutes. So next time we'll walk through the portal. Until then,